My beloved child, I have called your name, and in this very second, the universe stands still for you. You did not find this message by chance. I orchestrated this moment before the foundations of the world were laid. You have spent so long trying to navigate the storm with your own broken compass steering until your hands are blistered and your heart is weary. I have watched you strive, I have watched you plan, and I have seen you exhaust every ounce of your human strength only to find yourself back at the shore of not enough. But today, I am issuing a divine command to your soul: stop. Let go of the oars. You have tried it your way, and the weight has nearly broken you. Now I want you to simply stand still and watch this. I am about to demonstrate a power that does not require your straining, a grace that does not demand your performance, and a provision that flows from a realm you cannot yet see. This is the moment of your surrender, and in that surrender, you will find a victory that your effort could never purchase. Pay close attention, for what I am about to reveal will shift the very atmosphere of your life. I see you, my precious one, sitting in the silence of your room when the world thinks you are strong. But I hear the loud pounding of your anxious heart. I see the tears you wipe away before anyone enters the room, the ones shed over bills you cannot pay, over relationships that feel like shifting sand, and over the terrifying fear that you are falling behind. I see the burden you carry of being the source for everyone else, the one who provides and the one who listens, the one who holds it all together while you feel yourself falling apart. I see your faith lunging for a foothold as the ground beneath you seems to crumble. I have seen every sleepless night where you replayed your mistakes, wondering if I had forgotten you or if your best was simply never going to be enough. I am here to tell you that I have not missed a single sigh. I have bottled every tear. The struggle you are in is not a sign of my absence, but a preparation for my appearance. You are not being crushed. You are being cleared of the debris that prevents you from seeing that I am and have always been the only source you truly need. Before I pull back the veil and show you the blessings currently en route to your doorstep, I ask you to make a physical sign of your spiritual readiness. This is not for my benefit, but to bring your heart into agreement with what I am speaking over you. Press the like button now as a quiet seal your yes without striving. Then type 7007 in the comments, not as a ritual, but as your simple Amen. I release control and I receive your direction. Let that number stand as a marker that you were here when I told you to stop rowing and to trust the current of my grace. You have been drinking from broken cisterns that can hold no water, looking to people positions and bank accounts to give you the peace that only I can provide. These are mere channels, and channels can dry up, but I am the source, and I am an ocean that never recedes. I am the stream in your desert, the manna in your wilderness, and the architect of your breakthrough. The season of you carrying the world on your shoulders is over. I am taking the wheel. I am opening doors that no man can shut and closing paths that lead to your destruction. Do not look at the lack in your hands. Look at the abundance in my heart. What you are believing for is not just on the way, it is already being woven into the fabric of your reality. Your only job in this divine exchange is to remain in me. As you listen to the words that follow, feel the pressure leaving your chest. Feel the heavy yoke being lifted and replaced by my light and easy burden. The transition from effort to power begins right here, right now. Be still, my beloved, and know that I am God. Right now, I am placing my hand upon your racing mind, quieting the frantic storm of what-ifs and how-wills that have kept you prisoner for far too long. You have spent your days running, chasing after shadows of security, believing that if you just worked a little harder or planned a little better, the gnawing ache of lack would finally disappear. But I am calling you to a holy halt, I am commanding the gears of your anxiety to stop turning. You have been asking me for solutions, but I am here to give you a revelation. You think you know what you need, but your perspective has been clouded by the dust of the world. You cry out for a change in your bank account, but I see a heart that needs a change in its foundation. You plead for a door to open in your career, but I am looking at the door of your spirit that has been locked by fear. Before I can fill your hands, I must first recalibrate your soul. For if I give you the harvest without fixing the soil, the blessing would only become a burden you are not yet ready to carry. Stop and look deeper with me. You have defined your needs through the lens of survival, but I define them through the lens of your destiny. To the world, a need is a bill that must be paid. To me, your greatest need is the unshakable assurance that you are seen, known, and loved by the Creator of all things. I have seen you in the middle of a crowded room, smiling and nodding while feeling utterly invisible and alone. I have watched you scroll through the lives of others, wondering why your path feels so steep and why your portion feels so small. This deep-seated loneliness, this fear that you are being bypassed by my favor, that is the real need that I am addressing today. You don't just need a miracle. You need to know that you are a miracle. You don't just need provision. You need to realize that you are an heir to a kingdom where lack is an impossibility. I am peeling back the layers of your superficial desires to heal the core of your existence, replacing the survival mode you have lived in with the thriving grace I have designed for you. If you can feel my presence shifting the weight on your shoulders right now, do not let this moment pass in silence. This is a divine appointment, a sacred pause in the middle of your chaos. Come and listen to my messages consistently. Make it a habit. Make it a priority. Make it non-negotiable. Your spiritual health requires regular feeding. Your faith needs steady nourishment. Your soul must be renewed continually. So stay connected, subscribe, and return daily, not out of religious duty, but out of relationship. This is not legalism. This is love. This is how you remain rooted in me when opposition rises. This is how you keep growing in wisdom and grace one day at a time under my covering. We are entering a deeper level of intimacy where your unspoken prayers are finally being answered in ways you never thought to ask. The world has taught you that your value is tied to your productivity and that your needs are a sign of weakness. But I tell you that your needs are the very place where my power is made perfect. Your emptiness is not a void to be feared. It is a canvas for my glory. I am redefining your need for money as a need for divine stewardship. I am redefining your need for a partner as a need for a deeper communion with my spirit. I am redefining your need for health as a need for a complete renewal of your mind and body. Do not be discouraged when I say no to a temporary fix, for it is only because I am preparing a permanent foundation. You have been praying for a drop of water, but I am leading you to the source of the river. Trust me in this redirection. Trust me when I strip away the things you thought were essential so that you can find that I am the only one who is truly indispensable. The journey from wanting to having begins with this single powerful shift, realizing that I am not just a provider of things, but the provider of your very soul. The tragedy of being your own source is a weight that was never meant for your human frame. I have watched you carry the world on your shoulders, acting as the provider, the protector, and the ultimate problem solver for everyone around you. You have been running on the fumes of your own willpower, pushing through the fatigue because you believe that if you stop, everything will collapse. But look at your soul, my child. You are not just tired, you are depleted. You are living in a constant state of survival mode where your mind is a battlefield of spreadsheets, deadlines, and worst-case scenarios. I see you waking up already exhausted, the weight of the day pressing down on your chest before you even open your eyes. This is the price of trying to be your own God. When you make yourself the source, you are limited by your own strength, your own bank account, and your own wisdom. And because you are finite, you are constantly afraid of running out. You are terrified of the moment when the world asks for more than you have left to give. I have seen you in those quiet, desperate moments when the mask finally slips. I was there when you looked at your reflection and didn't recognize the weary person staring back at you. I saw you at 3 a.m., your eyes wide in the dark, calculating numbers that simply do not add up, wondering how you will make it to the end of the month or the end of the week. I saw you forced to say, "I'm fine," to a friend when your spirit was screaming for help. You have become a master of the hidden season, hiding your struggles so well that even those closest to you have no idea you are drowning. You feel like a fraud because you are helping others find their way, while you feel completely lost in the woods of your own making. I know the bitterness that tastes like iron in your mouth when you see others seemingly blessed without effort while you toil for every crumb. This diagnosis is not to shame you, but to awaken you. You cannot heal what you do not acknowledge. The reason you are breaking is that you are trying to be the foundation, but I am the only rock that can hold the weight of your life. Right now, I want you to do something for me. Stop what you are doing and place your hand over your heart. Feel that steady rhythm that is my breath inside of you. I did not give you that life so you could spend it in a state of perpetual panic. Can you feel the tension in your neck, the tightness in your jaw? That is the physical manifestation of a soul trying to do my job. You are not a machine designed for constant production. You are a beloved child designed for divine connection. You have allowed worry, shame, and the pressure of the world to take up all the space in your container. Because you have filled your heart with the clutter of self-reliance, there is no room left for the peace, joy, and creativity that I want to pour into you. You are not failing. You are simply disconnected from the power grid. You are like a lamp trying to light up a city while unplugged from the outlet. It is time to stop the frantic searching and start the sacred returning. Listen closely, because I am going to correct what you have been calling a need. There are desires you have carried that you thought were necessities, but they were once wearing a mask. And I tell you the truth, I will not always give you what you want, but I will give you what you need. You have asked me for outcomes, quick relief, instant proof, immediate control, but I am after your foundation. Many of the things you chase to feel safe are not needs at all. They are substitutes. They are false sources. Sometimes it is control that calms you. Sometimes it is approval that feeds you. Sometimes it is achievement that numbs you. Sometimes it is a relationship that you clutch like an oxygen tank. Sometimes it is the glow of your bank notifications, the comfort of a plan, the rush of being needed, the escape of a screen, the illusion of, "I can handle it." And here is the question that will reveal what is really draining you. What are you using to soothe your spirit when you are afraid? Me, or something that cannot hold you? What do you run to first when the pressure rises? What do you trust to steady you when the night gets loud? My beloved child, let us travel deeper into the quiet chambers of your heart, past the surface-level worries of bills and bank balances, to the place where the root of lack truly resides. You have often wondered why, even in moments when you had enough, the fear of losing it remained like a shadow at your heels. This is because the lack you feel is not a financial condition. It is a spiritual wound. It is the lingering echo of a lie that tells you that you are not enough, that you are not worthy of the abundance of the universe, and that you must constantly prove your value to receive my care. You have lived with a poverty of spirit, believing that my blessings are a limited resource, and that you must fight for your crumb before someone else takes it. But I am the God of the overflow. And today, I am pulling up this root of fear and replacing it with the absolute certainty of your divine inheritance. You do not have to work for a father who already owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. You simply have to rest in the truth that you are His. I have seen the moments that planted these seeds of insufficiency in your soul. I saw you as a child, perhaps, watching the adults in your life whisper in hushed, stressed tones about how they would make ends meet. I saw the sting in your heart when you were passed over for an opportunity you worked so hard for, or when someone you loved made you feel like you were a burden rather than a blessing. I was there in every season of rejection, every no that felt like a closed door on your future, and every time you were made to feel that you were too much or not enough. These moments created a fracture in your identity, leading you to believe that you are an orphan in this world, forced to fend for yourself. But I am here to tell you that the fracture is being healed. I am washing away the memory of those who made you feel small. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They are the credentials of a survivor who is now being promoted to a victor. Stop trying to prove your worthiness to me. There is nothing you can do to make me love you more, and nothing you have done can make me love you less. You are not being punished through your struggles. You are being trained to handle the weight of a glory you cannot yet imagine. If I were to give you everything you asked for while you still felt unworthy, you would only squander the blessing or fear its loss. I am healing the root so that when the fruit of prosperity comes, it will remain. You were created to be filled with confidence and creativity, not shame and scarcity. I say you are forgiven, so do not agree with the guilt. I say you are well supplied, so do not agree with the lack. I am the potter, and you are the clay. I am shaping your character to match the size of the destiny I have written for you. The waiting room you have been sitting in is not a prison. It is a construction site where I am building a foundation that can hold the massive structure of your future. My chosen one, listen closely to this core wisdom, for it is the key to your liberation from all anxiety and the beginning of your true prosperity. Most of my children live in a state of constant low-level panic because they have fundamentally confused the channel with the source. They look at their job, their business, their spouse, or their savings account, and they whisper to themselves, "This is where my life comes from. And if this fails, I am lost." But I am here today to pull back the veil of the physical world. I want you to see that these things are merely the pipes, the conduits, the temporary structures through which I pour my eternal blessings. I am the reservoir. I am the well of living water that never runs dry. When you look at a faucet in your home and see water flowing, you do not bow down and thank the metal faucet for creating the water. You know intuitively that the water comes from a source far deeper, connected to a vast system you cannot see. Yet when your paycheck faucet begins to drip slowly, or when a relationship pipe bursts and leaves you dry, you cry out in terror as if the water itself has ceased to exist. I am issuing a divine command to your spirit today. Shift your gaze. Stop falling in love with the pipes and start trusting the one who controls the pressure and the flow. If I choose to close one channel in your life, it is never to deprive you. It is only because that pipe has become too small for the volume of blessing I am about to release. I saw the cold terror that gripped your heart when you heard the news of that layoff, or when that client you relied on suddenly walked away without explanation. I saw you staring at the screen of your bank account, feeling a hollow ache in your chest as you wondered how you would survive the coming month. But I want you to remember, I am the one who gave you that job in the first place. I am the one who moved the heart of that manager to hire you. I am the one who gave that person the favor and the resources to help you. If they leave, my favor does not pack its bags and leave with them. My ability to provide for you is not limited by the fragile economy of man and the fluctuating decisions of a supervisor or the chaotic movements of a global market. I am not bound by the gravity of this world's lack. When I told you in my word that I would supply all your needs according to my riches and glory, I was not making a poetic suggestion. I was stating a law of the kingdom. My warehouse is not located on this earth. It is stationed in the heavenly realms where there is no inflation, no recession, no theft, and no scarcity. Your employer is not your provider. I am. Your government is not your protector. I am. When you finally grasp that every good and perfect gift you have ever received was delivered by my hand, even if it was wrapped in a human package, you will find the peace that surpasses all human understanding. Understand this deep mystery. My supply is linked directly to my riches in glory, not to your balance on earth. This means that even when the earth beneath your feet seems barren and the sky above seems like brass, my glory remains overflowing and accessible to you. I am the God who can command a raven, a bird that naturally steals food, to bring bread and meat to my prophet in the middle of a desert. I am the God who can make a silver coin appear in the mouth of a random fish just to pay a tax. I am the God who can take a tiny handful of flour and a few drops of oil and make them multiply into a supply that sustains a household through a 3-year famine. You are exhausting yourself by worrying about the how, but I am the how. You are losing sleep over the when, but I am the when. When you align your heart with me as your primary source, you stop being a helpless victim of your circumstances, and you start being a victor over them. If a channel in your life has dried up, do not stand there in the dust, weeping over the dry ground and trying to fix a broken pipe. Turn your face upward toward me. I am simply moving the water to a new location to test your faithfulness, to prune your ego, and to grow your character for the next level. I did not bring you through the trials of the past just to abandon you in the desert of the present. I brought you here to reveal a dimension of my provision that your previous comfort would have never allowed you to see. This revelation is the very foundation of the spiritual shift I am activating within your life at this exact moment. As you receive these words, you are becoming unshakable. The world around you may shake, the financial systems may tremble, and your personal channels may shift, but the source remains constant, immovable, and eternally generous. If you truly believe that I am your source, and that no power in hell or on earth can stop the flow of my destined blessings into your life, I want you to make a bold, physical declaration of that faith. Type "God is my only source" or 1212 in the comments right now to establish divine order and alignment in your life. And stay with me, because in the next word, I'm going to expose the subtle false sources that masquerade as needs. And I will ask you one question that will reveal what has truly been calming you in the dark. Do not let the enemy steal this seed. Water it with your confession. Rest in the quiet power of this truth. I am the potter, and I am meticulously shaping the vessel of your life to hold significantly more than you ever thought possible. Real lasting blessings are heavy, and they require strong, seasoned shoulders to carry them without being crushed. This season of less, this time of transition where some of your favorite channels have suddenly dried up, is not a punishment. It is my divine training ground. I am strengthening your spiritual muscles so that when the floodgates of my massive provision finally open, you will have the character and the maturity to handle the weight of the blessing. Do not mistake the messy process for the final product. Your current waiting room is a construction site of the soul, not a prison cell of the forgotten. I am building a version of you that is fireproof, famine-proof, and fear-proof. When you finally emerge from this hidden season, you will not be the same fragile person who entered it. You will be a person who knows without a single shadow of a doubt that as long as I am seated on the throne, your needs are not just a hopeful possibility, they are an absolute guaranteed promise. Trust the flow of my spirit. Trust the perfection of my timing. Trust the limitlessness of your source. I have gone before you to make the crooked places straight, and I am standing behind you as your rear guard. You are safe in my supply. My precious child, come closer and let me show you how the illusion works in the places you live. Your mornings, your messages, your money, your thoughts at midnight. You already know what a false source is. Now I will show you how it behaves, how it drains you, and how to recognize it the moment it tries to sit on my throne. Watch the pattern. A false source always promises peace, but it only rents it to you for a moment. It gives you a brief exhale, then demands another payment. You feel calm only when the text comes back. You feel safe only when the number in the account is high enough. You feel worthy only when someone claps for you, chooses you, approves you, needs you. And when that channel shifts even slightly, your chest tightens as if the air has been stolen from the room. That is the evidence. That is the signature. When a thing can steal your peace by changing, it has become a throne in your heart. I see you in the small scenes that no one else witnesses. I see you refresh your inbox like a prayer, not because you want information, but because you want reassurance. I see you rehearse conversations in your mind, trying to control the outcome before it happens, as if worry could become a shield. I see you buy things you do not need, not for joy, but for numbness, because silence feels too loud. I see you over-explain, over-give, overwork, over-prepare, because deep down, you believe that if you are useful enough, you will be safe. And then, when the day ends, you collapse not only from tiredness, but from the invisible labor of holding the world together with your own hands. This is the cost of a false source. It makes you pay in peace. Hear me, and let this land like prophecy in your spirit. A false source always produces the same harvest anxiety that returns rest, that disappears joy, that depends on circumstances, and a heart that is never fully finished. You call it being responsible, but I call it bondage dressed as wisdom. You call it planning, but I call it fear practicing the future. You call it staying ahead, but I call it the soul running from trust. The illusion of control is not power. It is a counterfeit covering. Now I will give you discernment, simple, sharp, unmistakable. Here are the signs that a channel has become a false source. When you lose it, you do not just feel sad, you feel erased. When it is threatened, your mind begins to spiral, and you cannot stay present. When it is silent, you feel abandoned, even if nothing has truly happened. When it is strong, you feel invincible, and you forget to lean on me. When it is gone, you do not just grieve, you panic, because your identity was attached to it. My child, I am not exposing this to shame you. I am exposing it to free you. Because what you can name, you can surrender. And what you surrender, I can heal. I have watched you lean your whole weight against doors. I locked for your protection, bruising your shoulders, weeping, calling it loss, while I was saving you from a room that would have poisoned your future. You wanted what felt familiar, but I saw what was hidden. You wanted the immediate result, but I was guarding the deeper need. My delays were not absence. They were mercy with a timetable. So now in the stillness, let me ask you again, not as a question of condemnation, but as a doorway into deliverance. What are you using to soothe yourself? When pressure rises, where do you run first? When you feel powerless, what do you reach for to feel in control? What must stay stable for you to feel okay? That answer is the altar you have been kneeling at. And I am calling you gently, firmly back to the center. The path forward requires a new kind of sight. You must learn to watch your own reactions like a witness in the spirit. When a channel shakes and your peace shakes with it, do not curse yourself, just notice it. When the fear spikes, do not obey it, just observe it. Say, this is a signal. This is a false throne trying to speak. And then turn slowly, deliberately back to me. Look past the channel and see the provider. Look past the noise and hear the shepherd. Look past the shifting and touch the rock. Imagine your life as a container. If it is full of false security, there is no room for the weight of my glory. I am emptying you out so that I can fill you up with things that are eternal, unshakable, and beautiful. Trust the process of the emptying. Trust the hand of the potter. You are being refined, not rejected. You are being prepared, not punished. Stand firm in the knowledge that I am doing a new thing, and it is far greater than anything you are leaving behind. My beloved, I want to lead you to the very heart of the mystery that has kept you wandering in the wilderness of not enough. You have spent years bringing me your lists of results. You pray for the debt to be gone, for the healing to manifest, for the relationship to be restored, and for the promotion to finally arrive. You are chasing the fruit, but I am inviting you to find the root. You are chasing the drop of water, but I am standing here as the fountain. If I give you the result without the source, you will be back at my feet tomorrow, thirsty and anxious once again. This is the cycle of the world. You get what you want. You feel a moment of relief, and then the fear of losing it, or the hunger for something more, begins to gnaw at your soul. I do not want you to live on the results of today. I want you to live in the flow of eternity. When you have the source, you never have to worry about the result, because the result is merely a natural byproduct of my presence in your life. Listen to the truth I spoke long ago, which echoes now in the chambers of your heart. Everyone who drinks of the water of this world will be thirsty again. Whether it is the water of wealth, the water of fame, or the water of human security, it can never reach the deepest part of who you are. But the water that I give you will become in you a spring of water welling up to eternal life. You have been looking for something to happen, but I am someone who is happening right now. Stop asking me to fix your circumstances and start asking me to fill your spirit. When you seek the result, you are focused on the lack. When you seek the source, you are focused on the abundance. I want you to shift your prayer from Lord, give me this, to Lord, give me you. For in me all things consist. In me every door you need opened is already unlocked. In me every healing is already complete. You don't need the miracle as much as you need the miracle worker. I see you struggling to understand how this works in your physical reality. You ask, but Lord, how will the bills be paid if I only seek you? My child, look at the lilies of the field and the birds of the air. They do not toil, they do not spin, and they do not worry about the results of tomorrow. They simply exist in the environment I have provided for them, and I clothe them in more glory than the greatest kings. When you align yourself with the source, you enter a divine environment where provision is not a struggle, but a law. When you seek first the kingdom, the eternal reign of my peace and authority, all these results you are chasing will be added to you. They will find you. They will hunt you down and overtake you. You will no longer have to chase blessings. Blessings will begin to chase you because you are carrying the source of all blessings within your soul. This is the moment of your greatest spiritual shift. The reason I have allowed some of your results to be delayed is to draw you closer to my heart. If I gave you everything you wanted the moment you asked, you would eventually love the gifts more than the giver. I am not withholding from you. I am beckoning you. I am jealous for your attention because I know that only in my presence will you find the rest you have been searching for in houses, cars, and career titles. When you finally reach the point where you can say, Lord, if I have you, I have everything, that is the moment the floodgates will open. I do not give big assignments or big blessings to those who are still addicted to the results of the flesh. I give them to those who have matured into the presence of the Spirit. Relax into this truth. You are not a beggar at the gates of heaven. You are a child at the Father's table. The source is here. The source is yours. And in the source, every need is already met. My chosen one, as we descend into the deeper waters of your transformation, I want to address the 3 silent cries of your soul that you have never dared to put into words. You have asked me for many things, for money to pay the bills, for health to sustain your body, for a way out of your troubles, but beneath those requests lie the 3 deepest needs of every human heart. These are the needs that, once met by me, changed the very fabric of your reality. The first is your profound need to be truly understood. I have seen the thousands of times you have tried to explain your heart to people only to be met with blank stares or superficial advice. I have seen the moments you felt completely alone in a crowded room because no one could see the complexity of your pain or the depth of your dreams. Today, I am responding to that cry. I want you to know that I do not just hear your prayers, I hear the sighs between your words. I understand the you that you are afraid to show the world. I know the intentions of your heart, even when your actions fail. You are seen, you are known, and in my eyes, you are perfectly understood. The second cry is your need for absolute security in the midst of the storm. You live in a world that is shaking, where jobs disappear, health fades, and promises are broken. This has left you with a constant, underlying tremor of fear, a fear that at any moment the floor could drop out from under you. But I am responding to your need for safety by becoming your anchor. I did not say there would be no storms, but I promise that no storm is big enough to sink the ship when I am the captain. Your security does not come from the absence of trouble. It comes from my presence in the trouble. When you realize that I am your rear guard and your pioneer, the fear of the future loses its grip on your throat. You are protected by a wall of fire that the enemy cannot penetrate. You and your family are covered by the blood of my son. And even when the waves roar, you can sleep in the back of the boat because your life is hidden in me. Peace is not a destination you reach. It is a person you know. The third and most vital need is your hunger for heavenly worth. Or the need to know that you matter not because of what you do, but because of whose you are. You have spent your life trying to earn your place, trying to be good enough or successful enough to justify your existence. But I am here to tell you that your value was settled at the cross. You are not a mistake of nature or a byproduct of chance. You are a royal heir, a masterpiece of my own design, created for a purpose that only you can fulfill. Your scars are not signs of shame. They are your credentials proving that you have survived the fire and are now ready for the palace. I am responding to your need for value by crowning you with favor. You don't have to prove anything to anyone anymore. When you walk into a room, you don't walk in as a beggar hoping for a crumb of approval. You walk in as a child of the King, knowing that the atmosphere must shift because of the authority you carry in my name. My precious child, come and sit with me in the gallery of your own history. You often suffer from a spiritual amnesia, forgetting the thousands of times I have already stepped into the fire to bring you out unscathed. You look at your current mountain and tremble as if it is the first one you have ever faced. But I remember every peak we have climbed together. I remember the times you were at the very edge of the cliff and a hand you couldn't see pulled you back. I remember the nights you whispered, "I can't go on," and yet you woke up the next morning with a strength that was not your own. I did not bring you through those previous storms just to let you sink in this one. Every past deliverance was a down payment on your future victory. If I open the sea for you, then I will part the waters for you now. Stop looking at the size of the giant and start remembering the size of the God who has already slain them for you. I saw you in that season of hidden tears years ago, when you felt the world was closing in on you. I saw you in that hospital hallway, in that empty office after the doors were locked, and in that silent house after the phone stopped ringing. I was the one who sent that unexpected check in the mail when you didn't know how you would eat. I was the one who placed a specific person in your path at the exact moment you were about to give up. I was the silent whisper in your ear that said one more day when the enemy was shouting, "It's over." You called it luck. You called it a coincidence. You even called it your own resilience. But today, I am claiming the credit. It was my grace. It was my hand. It was my timing. I am the God of the suddenly, and I have a long history of showing up just when the clock is about to strike midnight. My silence in those moments was not abandonment. It was the quiet of a father watching his child pass the test of endurance. Let this memory of grace become the fuel for your current faith. I am getting you prepared to handle the weight of a blessing so large that your past trials will seem like small shadows in the midday sun. You had to go through those difficult seasons to develop the character and maturity required for what is coming next. If it hasn't happened yet, it's only because I am refining the vessel. I am never too late, and I am never hurried. I make everything beautiful in its time, and your time is closer than you think. Suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character. And that character is what will allow you to stay on the throne once I place you there. Relax and trust me. Stop stressing about how the story ends. I have already written the final chapter, and it ends with your total restoration. What you do while you are waiting determines how soon you see the promise. Stand in radical gratitude today, knowing that the God who was with you then is standing right beside you now. It is done. My beloved child, let us speak now of the things that keep you awake. In the quiet hours of the night, the weight of your debts, the scarcity in your hands, and the fear that your resources will run dry before your needs are met. You have looked at the world's economy and felt the cold wind of anxiety. But I am here to speak a financial prophecy over your life that does not depend on the systems of men. I am not a God who delights in your lack. I am the God of the overflow. However, I want to heal your relationship with provision. I am not calling you to a get-rich-quick fantasy that would only destroy your character. I am calling you into a divine stability where you never have to wonder if I am enough. I am releasing a daily bread anointing upon your house. Just as I fed my people in the wilderness, giving them exactly what they needed for each day, so they would learn to trust my hand. I am establishing a rhythm of timely provision in your life. You will no longer live in the frantic cycle of just getting by, for I am teaching you the secrets of the kingdom's wealth, stability, discipline, and a mindset of abundance. I see the frustration you feel when you work hard, but the harvest seems to vanish into holes in your pockets. I see the shame you carry when you cannot give to others as generously as your heart desires. Hear my voice, the curse of lack is being broken over your lineage this very moment. I am not just giving you a fish. I am teaching you how to walk with the one who commands the fish to jump into your boat. I am shifting your perspective from victim of the economy to steward of my resources. In the coming season, you will notice a supernatural shift in your financial intuition. I am planting seeds of new ideas in your mind, creative solutions, new streams of income, and the wisdom to manage what you have with excellence. I am closing the leaks in your life, the unnecessary expenses, the bad investments, and the spirit of waste. You are being promoted from survival to stewardship. I am bringing order to your chaos, and where there was once confusion and dread, there will be a calm confidence that your Father has already seen your bills and has already signed the check. This is a prophetic window for your financial breakthrough. If you are ready to receive this new level of stability and trust me as your ultimate provider, you must activate this word with a step of faith. Press the like button now as a seal over your house, an agreement that you will stop panicking and start trusting my daily provision. Then go to the comments and type, "I receive my daily bread," or 7007 as your quiet amen. Let it be your stake in the ground. I will not be ruled by debt, fear, or lack. My Father sees. My Father provides. As you confess it, feel the grip of scarcity loosening and let peace take its place. I am not just bringing you out of the desert. I am bringing the desert out of you. You have lived with a scarcity mindset for so long that you find it hard to believe in a God who can do exceedingly and abundantly above all you ask or think. But I am expanding your capacity to receive. Watch for the unexpected provision, the refund that arrives out of nowhere, the favor in a negotiation you thought was lost, and the sudden opportunity for a promotion that you didn't even apply for. These are not coincidences. They are the fingerprints of my grace. I am fireproofing your finances so that even when the world faces a famine, your cup will run over. Trust my timing. I know when the right time is to release the massive blessing, and right now, I am preparing your character to handle the weight of it. You are being trained to be a lender and not a borrower, a giver and not a beggar. Your struggle is not your identity, it is your training ground. The season of lack is over. The season of the daily bread has begun. My precious child, come closer and let me change the way you talk to me. I have heard your prayers, but I have also felt the desperation and the fear that drives them. You have been coming to my throne as if you were a stranger, begging for a crumb, as if you had to convince me to be good to you. You have been begging out of a spirit of panic, crying out with a heart that is already expecting the worst. This kind of praying is exhausting you. It is a heavy yoke that I never asked you to wear. You are not a beggar at the gates of my kingdom. You are an heir seated at my table. When you beg, you are operating from a place of lack, focusing on the mountain instead of the mountain mover. Today, I am inviting you to shift your posture. I am calling you to move from the frantic energy of pleading to the quiet, unshakable power of trusting. You don't need to shout to get my attention. I am closer to you than your own breath. Remember the words I spoke when I walked among you. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. I did not say I would give you more weight to carry. I said I would give you rest. You have been trying to muscle your way through your problems, hoping that if you pray long enough or cry hard enough, I will finally notice. But my child, I noticed before you even felt the pain. I am not a reluctant God who needs to be persuaded. I am a loving Father who is already working behind the scenes. The shift from begging to trusting happens when you realize that the answer is already on the way. You can stop holding your breath. You can stop bracing for impact. Trust is not a feeling. It is a decision to lean your entire weight upon my character. You don't need more strength to hold the burden. You need the courage to put the burden down at my feet. My yoke is easy and my burden is light. But you must first let go of yours to take up mine. From this moment on, let your prayers be declarations of my goodness rather than descriptions of your problems. Instead of saying, Lord, I am so tired, say, Lord, you are my strength. Instead of saying, I don't know how I will make it, say, I trust that you have already made a way. This is the language of the kingdom. When you speak my truth, you align your reality with my will. I am teaching you to stand still in the middle of the fire, not because the fire isn't hot, but because you know the fourth man is in the fire with you. You are becoming fireproof. You are becoming unshakable. The reason the pressure has been so intense is that I am training you to reign, not just to survive. A king does not beg. A king decrees. Decree today that your needs are met, your path is lit, and your soul is at peace. I have already gone before you to make the crooked places straight. The victory is not something you are working for. It is something you are working from. Relax in my love. I have you. My beloved, there are prayers that reside so deep in the marrow of your soul that you have never found the words to release them. There are desires so fragile that you are afraid to even whisper them, lest the wind of reality blow them away. I want you to know today that I have heard the sound of your silence. I have translated the groans of your heart that were too heavy for your lips to carry. I was there in the kitchen late at night when you leaned against the counter and just sighed, unable to even mutter a "help me." I was there when you looked at your children or your aging parents or your own reflection, and a wave of unspoken longing washed over you. In those moments, you felt like you weren't praying because you didn't have the right words. But I tell you that those were the loudest prayers that ever reached my throne. Your tears are a language I speak fluently. Your sighs are melodies in my ears. I am the God who searches the heart and knows the mind of the Spirit, and I have already begun the work on the things you haven't even dared to ask for yet. I see the dreams you buried because you thought they were too late or too foolish for a person in your position. I see the apologies you wish you could receive from people who are no longer in your life. I see the secret hope for a new beginning that you hide behind a mask of weary pragmatism. My child, my silence in your life has never been abandonment. It has been a profound, focused attention. I have been watching you not as a judge, but as a father who is about to surprise his child with exactly what they needed but didn't know how to request. As long as I wake you up each morning, it means I am not through with you yet. My purpose for you is not finished, and the story of your life will not end in this chapter of unmet needs. I am the God who makes everything beautiful in its time, and the time for your unspoken prayers is drawing near. The waiting room was not a prison. It was the place where I was maturing your heart so you could carry the weight of the answers I am about to pour out. I am preparing a table for you in the presence of your enemies, the enemies of doubt, fear, and loneliness. You have spent so long explaining yourself to the world, trying to justify your pain and your path, but with me, you can just stay. In the stillness of my presence, your unspoken prayers are being woven into a reality that will far exceed your imagination. I am the potter, and I am shaping the broken pieces of your silent hopes into a vessel of glory. You will soon see that the delay was actually my protection shielding you while I strengthened your inner man. When you emerge from this season, people will ask how you found such peace, and your only testimony will be, I was silent, but he heard me. Trust the process of the silence. Trust the depth of my knowledge. I am already moving the mountains you were too tired to mention. The shift has begun. My precious child, revelation without alignment is like a map without a journey. You have felt my presence and heard my promises, but now I am calling you to walk in the practical path of the source aligned. The first step in this divine alignment is the total surrender of governance. Imagine you have been trying to manage a massive estate with no resources and no rest. Today, I am asking you to hand over the keys. This is not an act of weakness, but the ultimate act of wisdom. It means that when you wake up, you no longer ask, "How will I fix this?" But instead you ask, "Father, what are we doing today?" You are stepping down from the throne of your own life and inviting the King of Glory to take his rightful place. When you surrender the governance of your finances, your family, and your future, you are no longer responsible for the outcome I am. You become the steward, and I remain the source. This one shift will immediately drain the stress from your bones, for the weight of the world is too heavy for a human. But it is as light as a feather to me. The second step is the practice of listening. You cannot be aligned with the source if you are constantly drowned out by the static of the world. I am often found in the still small voice, not the earthquake or the fire. I am asking you to carve out moments of absolute silence every day. No phones, no music, no lists, just your spirit open to mine. In that silence, I am pouring in the blueprints for your breakthrough. I am whispering the names of people you need to forgive, the ideas you need to pursue, and the habits you need to leave behind. Alignment requires frequency. Just as a radio must be tuned to the right station to hear the music your heart must be tuned to. My peace to receive my provision. Do not rush into your day without first plugging into the power grid. The wisdom you need for the unsolvable problem is already waiting for you in the quiet. When you listen first, you act with a precision that effort alone can never achieve. The third and final step is the small step of obedience. Many of my children wait for a giant sign before they move, but I often lead through small nudging whispers. I am calling you to obey the little thing I have already put on your heart. Perhaps it is to reach out to someone, to let go of a grudge, to tidy a small corner of your life, or to say no to a toxic distraction. These small steps are the mustard seeds of your destiny. When you show me your faithfulness in the small instructions, you prove your readiness for the great assignments. Alignment is a movement, not a stagnant state. As you take that one small step today, you will feel the gears of heaven clicking into place on your behalf. You are no longer drifting. You are being propelled by the current of my grace. Walk forward with confidence. For the source is not only with you, he is moving through you. The path to your miracle is paved with these small, intentional steps of trust. My beloved child, the time has come to anchor every word you have heard today into the very foundation of your spirit. This is not just a prayer. It is a divine decree being etched into the fabric of your reality. I want you to close your eyes, take a deep, slow breath, and feel the noise of the world fading into the distance. Feel my hand upon your head, anointing you with a peace that the world can neither give nor take away. This is the moment of your total surrender and your greatest empowerment. Speak these words from the depths of your soul, letting them vibrate through your past, your present, and your future. Say to me and say to the heavens, Father, I officially resign as the God of my own life. I repent for the times I have looked to my own strength, my own intellect, and the empty promises of this world as my source of security. I break my covenant with worry and my marriage to fear. Today, I look past the temporary channels, the jobs, the people, and the bank accounts, and I turn my gaze to the eternal reservoir. I declare with every fiber of my being, you are my source. You are the architect of my destiny, the provider of my needs, and the protector of my peace. My life is no longer a burden to be managed, but a miracle to be witnessed. I release the bitterness of every prayer I thought went unanswered. Knowing now that you were only protecting me from things that would have stolen my purpose, I release the heavy weight of my family's future, my financial debts, and my own reputation into your nail-scarred hands. I decree that because you are my source, I can never be truly empty. Because you are my source, I can never be truly lost. I come into perfect alignment with your timing and your methods. I am fireproof, I am famine-proof, and I am fear-proof because my roots are buried deep in the river of your grace. Every door that needs to open is now unlocking. Every mountain that needs to move is now shifting under the weight of my trust. I don't need to strive anymore. I just need to stay in you. Let this declaration be the anchor that holds me steady when the winds of life begin to blow. I am no longer a slave to the illusion of lack. I am a child of the divine overflow. It is settled. It is finished. You are my source, and in you, I have everything I will ever need. Come back to this altar with me. Return daily, not out of religious duty, but out of relationship. If you desire to stay rooted in this word and keep your spirit fed, subscribe and let my voice meet you again. Not because I need a number, but because you need consistent nourishment. Stay connected to the source. Wait, my beloved child, stay with me for just one more moment. You have received the revelation of the source, and you have felt the shift in your spirit. But there is a warning I must give you before you walk back into the world. Imagine your life is a magnificent vessel designed to hold the overflowing abundance of my grace. I am pouring the water of life into you, but I see that many of my chosen ones remain empty, not because the source has stopped flowing, but because their vessel is full of holes. There are 3 specific leaks that are currently draining your peace, your joy, and your financial provision faster than I can pour them in. These leaks are silent, they are subtle, and they are stealing the harvest you have prayed so hard to receive. One is the leak of hidden bitterness, where the poison of the past is eroding your capacity to hold the new wine of the present. Another is the leak of negative words, where you are literally digging up the seeds of your miracles with the very things you say when you are tired. And the third is the leak of self-reliance and the secret pride that tries to take back the keys the moment the prayer is over. I see you doing the work, I see you praying, and I see you making sacrifices. But you wonder why the breakthrough seems to slip through your fingers just as you are about to touch it. It is because these leaks are creating a vacuum in your soul. I do not want you to just receive a blessing today. I want you to keep it. I want you to be a reservoir, not just a sieve. In my next message, I will pull back the curtain and show you exactly how to identify these 3 leaks in your own life. And more importantly, how to plug them forever using the power of my word. You have been trained to survive the storm. Now I am training you to retain the rain. Do not allow the enemy to steal the ground you have gained today. The revelation of the source is your foundation, but the sealing of the leaks will be your fortress. The mystery of these 3 leaks is the final piece of the puzzle you have been searching for, and I am already preparing the way for you to receive it.